Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Around the Table. Today I have another guest with me. Would you like to introduce yourself, or am I going to introduce you?
Sure. My name's Anthony, and I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you. So we're just going to do some questions, all right? So how do you know me? How do we meet? Or do you remember? I don't know.
Yeah, it was high school, man. Grade 10, man. Yeah.
So it's been a while, I've talked to you a couple of times, but what have you been up to? What's new?
I mean, after high school, I did 2 years of schooling, Sheridan College.
Okay.
Brampton.
Yes.
But after that, got a job doing IT. Got married 2 years ago, so there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on, man.
Wow. So how is the IT field?
It's good. It's always busy, especially the times we're in. It's super busy with setting up computers, teaching people how to do different software for working from home. Mm-hmm. It's nuts, man. It's nuts.
Okay, so do you enjoy working from home, or do you actually like being in? Because I know with everything that's going on, unfortunately, the job that I'm in, I can't work from home, right? So like my main gig, I've been inside, and we have all the crazy measures and the Lysol everywhere, and like my workplace just gives us stuff. It's like, hey, here's some sanitizer, here's some Lysol, here's this. So I've been out every single day, right?
I don't know. For me, like for IT, we always worked from home part time.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, out of the 5 days, maybe 1 or 2 days from home.
Mm-hmm.
But now that it's all the time at home, it's kind of cool actually. It's actually you're able to actually hey, save money on driving, save money on food.
Okay.
Working from home is not bad. But at the same time, I miss talking to people, bumping into them in the hallway. Mm-hmm. Hey, what's going on with you? Oh, what's going on with you? Going back and forth. Mm-hmm. So those small little talks are kind of not there anymore.
Okay, so since you started talking about, saving money and cutting costs, I know you've been into investing and everything like that. So, tell us about it.
So essentially the last 6-7 years, I've been investing in the stock market. I also did a little bit of Forex. Honestly, it opened my eyes about how to save money, how to compound interest, how that works. Mm-hmm. Honestly, investing has been really good the last couple of years.
Can you kind of break it down for the viewers or someone who doesn't really understand investing?
So the way it works is pretty much when it comes to saving, some people think, hey, putting money into the bank account, that's the main goal. Don't get me wrong, putting money in the bank account, it's okay. At least you're not spending the money. Mm-hmm. But there's other ways of making your money work for you. Okay. And investing, what it does, when you put money into the stock market, it's also, they're giving you money for putting it in there.
That's interesting because, I know there's been a lot of trends, about the meme stocks or GameStop and AMC, all of that. And especially with crypto, everyone's been jumping into stock market, out of the stock market. People have been losing a ton of money. People have been doing some crazy investments and winning big. And other people have, they've done some crazy stuff because they lost a lot of money, especially when all the lockdowns and everything were started. People are doing some pretty crazy things. So how do you keep your head in the game for when you're dealing with losses when you're investing?
Well, for me, I look at the big picture. So, I mean, right now, I'll disclose my age. I'm 30 years old. Mm-hmm. And my goal is I want to retire younger than most people, which is most people retire at 65. Mm-hmm. That's not my goal. I want to retire by at least the age of 45, next 15 years. I know it seems ambitious, but that's my plan. My goal is look at the long picture. Don't look at the short term. A lot of people I'm realizing now, a lot of young people, they want this quick money. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I find with quick money comes with long issues, Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
Okay, so 15 years, that's very ambitious, right? Because when I even talk with people about high school, I always talk frames of time, right? And when 4 years passes, I'm like, that's a high school, right? And for people, the older you get, when you hear that, it's kind of like a dagger in your heart because you're getting old, right? But you said 15 years, that's about 3.5 high schools. So that's going through high school 1, 2, 3 times and a little bit. And I know a lot of people, they're stuck in high school, or high school is this pinnacle or crazy time in their life, right? So since you have that big goal, how are you attacking that goal? How do you think you're going to reach that? And since you have such a long time to plan it out, how are you going to make it feasible?
Well, first things first, retiring doesn't mean hey, I'm going to be laying on my bed or sitting on the beach, some pina coladas. It's not going to be that way. When I say retire, it means the opportunity for me to do whatever I kind of want to do. Like, I'm not bounded by a 9 to 5. I'm not bounded by, hey, you know what? Hey, Anthony, you have to do this today. No. I, have my own business, or I'm doing, different things where it allows me to actually have more freedom, more time. And the way I'm planning on doing it is through investing in stocks, real estate investing. So purchasing houses. I purchased my first house actually 2 years ago. Okay. Which is pretty good. And from there, I actually bought another house 2 years ago. 6 months ago, sorry. And I don't know. I seen how lucrative it was in the last 2 years. And I really feel if I, play my cards right and actually invest in the right properties, I should be able to retire, hopefully. And once again, retire doesn't mean sitting down and relaxing. It means doing things I want to do.
Okay.
Freedom.
All right, that's interesting because, a lot of people don't really consider their options, and I could even say that with myself. Like, with my current job, I've been there for 6 years, right? I worked my way from the bottom, and now I'm in a better position.
Took a Drake
right?
thing,
Of course, started from the bottom, started from the bottom. You already know what it is, right? So, it's a thing where once time starts to pick up, then you realize, what else can I be doing, right? Because even my last job, what pushed me out of it was how my boss treated me, right? And to think if I just stayed there, I'd still be making like minimum wage, right? So in the past 6 years, I've made 10 times the amount that I was making 6 years ago, right? Yeah. So it's an interesting mindset where you're like, I want to do something big. Right. I was talking to my cousin recently, and a lot of younger people, or even people around our age, are talking about, how it's impossible to buy a house. So what did you do to save? What did you do to lock down a property? And what kind of advice would you have for someone who's trying to buy a house?
Well, first things first, when it comes to real estate, you don't just have to buy a property. You can also buy real estate stocks as well, REITs. Okay. Right? So you can also buy stocks, like I said, that are real estate. For me, buying my first house, what I did, literally, I grinded. Honestly, I worked like 3 jobs. Yeah, I worked 3 jobs. I had a day job, like my IT job. I did Uber Eats. And then I also worked at No Frills, which is a grocery store. I worked there part-time. So literally, I hustled. I did Jesus Christ, man, I almost did 70 hours a week. I did it for about 7-9 months. And eventually the Uber Eats was too much, man. I needed sleep. So just hustling and grinding. And then as a first-time home buyer, you only have to put down 5% down. 5% down as a first-time home buyer. So I took advantage of that opportunity, of that program, and that helped a lot.
5%. I didn't know this. I didn't know there was real estate stocks or anything like that.
Yeah, REITs. Yeah.
Okay, so cool. That's something that I'll definitely look into. I know there's a couple of my listeners who are into the stock market as well. So that's something that's nice, and even the whole 5% thing, that saves you a lot of time and money. Right, a lot of people are saying there's a renting crisis, and I have a lot of friends who are moving out of the GTA, right? Even though this is around the GTA, it means not only the GTA, but around the GTA. If we become big enough, it would be around Canada, right? But I have friends who, because the housing market was so crazy up here, they moved down to the Niagara region, and even if you're going all the way down to Niagara or going up to Sudbury, the prices are starting to be similar to here, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I know for me, I haven't really been up north to Sudbury, but I know St. Catharines, the market is a lot, not a lot of people are there now, but eventually they are moving down there, like you said. I don't know. For me, my thing is just hustling and grinding, and when it comes to the rent, I know it's going up. But I find a lot of people should kind of be bundled together. Instead of renting on your own, pair up with a buddy. Get a 2-bedroom instead of getting a 1-bedroom. Because 1 bedroom and 2 bedrooms, the price difference is not that much. You know what I mean? So it makes more sense to get a buddy, get a friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, and split the cost, man.
Stick it out.
Share is caring.
Okay, share is caring, right? Because that's the thing. I was talking with my cousin recently because we're doing the custom dresses for my store now.
Oh, nice.
Right? And they were talking about not really wanting to deal with people, and I think that's a big issue in our generation, even the younger generation, is everyone kind of wants to do everything by themselves, or they don't want to put in that sacrifice.
Yeah.
Everything is a problem, but they won't put in the work. Because like for me, for the most part, I work 7 days a week. I'm either here or I'm at the store.
Yeah.
Right. So some people are asking me, because you see me online, I'm always posting something because I'm always doing something. I can't sleep. I work nights as well.
Yeah.
Right. So being ambitious, keeping yourself busy, it does help a lot. But it's just like you say, you grinded for like 7-8 months to make sure that you could get a place, right? So if you have any tips for anyone, like how do you stay focused? How did you do it for that long time?
Well, for me, it was a purpose. Like for me, I sat down there, I'm like, you know what? Okay. The other reason why actually I got the house is because I was getting married and I just found out I was having a child. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, my kid's coming in the next 9 months. How am I gonna survive? If I keep renting, I'm gonna be stuck renting. So I'm like, you know what? Let's hustle and grind. Let's have a plan. Where do I want to live? You know what? I grew up in Brampton all my life. Most of my life, not all my life. And I'm like, you know what? I like this area. This is the cost. So I sat down and I actually made a plan. That's the thing. A lot of people don't have plans. They kind of just wander in the world and they're hoping to grab something. For me, no. I knew I wanted to grab this. So I sat down there. I'm like, you know what? This is what the cost is. This is how much I need for the down payment. This is how much I need for paying for the real estate agent and all this costs. I sat down there. I'm like, you know what? I have a plan. This is the numbers. How do I do it?
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? I have a car. Make money off it. Working, okay, making sure no more foodie dates or with my wife. I made sure that we have to start cooking. Broke out the cooking book. YouTube's really good for that.
Okay.
And the other job was no frills. Literally, picking up extra shifts there, working like 3 days a week there. And honestly, even though I was tired, I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I want to stop. I was like, no, I can't stop. I can't stop because the goal is to get my own place, and from there, elevate to something else.
Okay, can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah,
Mr. Francis.
yeah.
Okay, that's the mentality I like to hear, right? Because like for me recently, I've been networking, right? Because I'm the type of person where like, when's the last time we saw each other?
It's been a while actually. I've seen you a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah. Right? It's been so long, but see how we're talking right now? It's like we chill every day.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the type of person that I am where, I could not see you for like 12 years or, 3 high schools. And if you're a decent person, we're going to pick it up like we never left, right? So that's good. And I know like you were talking about no frills. I used to work at Metro.
Oh, nice.
And you're talking about the whole cooking thing. I know a lot of those grocery stores, they have at a certain time where they have like the discount rack for... fruits and vegetables and everything like that. So I think that's pretty cool that you were able to pick up all of that stuff and get to it. Maybe I might do the same thing. Right? You're just talking to you, like I've talked to you on the phone and everything. Right, and it's inspiring, but being here with you in person is inspiring as well, right? I'm learning a lot of hope. I hope that the people who listen to this are, they feel that jolt. Like, I feel that energy, and that's good. That's good. We need more of that, especially with how things are online. And, just the craziness where people have an opinion, and then people are like, yeah, that's so true, and, there's so much more to the world, right? Have you traveled recently, or even like before all of this happened? Have you traveled around, or were you just still like around the GTA, Ontario, and stuff like that?
Well, due to the nature of my job in IT, I work for a company that's worldwide, actually.
Okay.
So, but where I service is Canada. So we service in Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Montreal. So all of Canada. I was fortunate enough for my company to fly me out to those places to service them. So I've been to Surrey, BC. I've been to Richmond, BC. Calgary. I was able to see the downtown Calgary with the the watchtower, or not the watchtower, the observation tower. Edmonton as well. Got to see Edmonton, the biggest mall in Canada, which was kind of cool. And even Winnipeg, as cold as it is, that was kind of cool to see as well. So I've been all around Canada. Where else have you been to? I've been to Jamaica. My background's Jamaican, so I've been to Jamaica. Big up.
Yes. Okay.
But where else have you been to? Cuba.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
not bad.
I have a question for you. So, since you've been around so many places, do you think this is a big part of why you have your mindset? Or is it just through what you've been through in life that has shaped your mind to do stuff like this? Because, we're born in the same generation, right? The same year. Obviously, we went to the same high school. For the most part, we lived in the same city, right? I've been here since I was 4. Right? So I've been here for a long time, and even though I guess we don't hang out a lot and we don't even live in the same parts of the city, we kind of have similar mindsets. So do you think it's from your travels? Is it more of your experience?
For me, the reason why I think the way I think is because, going around the country, I get to see how people live, different people live. And I don't know, I kind of see it. I'm like, you know what? I want to do the same thing. The other thing as well, obviously, my mom, she's a financial advisor by day. So seeing how she talked to other clients, and she had clients that were making a lot of money, some that are not making a lot of money. And I was like, you know what? The ones that are not making a lot of money, I don't want to be that way. I want to make sure that I'm, my children or friends or other people around me are elevated and not doing those things. You know what I mean? So that's part of the reason why I also do financial advising for people. Just so then, they can segue into not having the poor mentality, but having a rich mentality.
Okay, so yeah, I like that term. I even like the term abundance mindset, right? I was listening to this person who does a similar business as we do at the shop, right? And they were talking about, like, in almost any market, always room for more things, right? Everyone knows that podcasts are the in thing now, right? Like I told you before, I should have started my podcast maybe like 12 years ago, but I wanted to do it with my group of friends, and I wanted to do it this way, but everyone has their own kind of mindset, so sometimes you have to start and do it by yourself. Right? And as the person was saying, there's always room in the market. When you go to the grocery store, there's water everywhere. So there's different types of water, there's different types of chips, but they're all the same thing, right? So having that abundance mindset kind of changes how you shape everything, right? Because, I could have a taco stand and you could have a taco stand and we could be right beside each other, but how I make my tacos and how you make your tacos is completely different, right? I know, have you been to Burrito Boys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like Burrito Boys is a pretty good burrito place, right? And there's a place called Fresh Burrito. They were ambitious enough to right beside it, right? And everyone was talking about like how crazy it was, right? But at the same time, if you know Burrito Boys, there's always a lineup, right? They make good burritos. I've been to Fresh Burrito twice because the line was just too big. I didn't want to wait. Did they make better burritos than Burrito Boys? I don't think so, right? But they still took some of my money, right? So that's just for you guys out there. Just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean you can't do it.
Well, the other thing as well, for that, I like the fact that, like, the competition's right beside them, they're doing better. I think sometimes it's better to be beside people that are actually further ahead, because then you can see what they did, you see the mistakes, and you can elevate on it. So even the fresh burrito, maybe they may not be the best burrito, but they'll see, hey, you know what? I'm realizing that line's really long. Why don't we, do this and this and this to attract more people? The people that are waiting outside, bring them into our shop. But if they were right beside them, they want to know that they have, the people outside waiting, and they got you.
They got me twice.
Twice, not once, twice.
Don't attack me. I'm not a traitor, guys. It's just I was hungry,
Well, that day you were, though. I don't know, man.
Sometimes it happens, guys. You won't always catch me slipping, but it seems like my guests like to roast me out the podcast, so it's okay. It's no hard feelings. But we're gonna segue to 2020, right? 2020 was a crazy time for a lot of people. It was actually kind of the spark that pushed me to do my podcast. I know you were talking about, how long have I done my podcast? I started in December, right?
Of 2020?
2020, nice. Because the thing is, I was looking at stuff online and I saw like how negative everything is, and I'm not the person who's like, oh yeah, everything's super positive. Let's be happy, right? I'm a real person, but at the same time, I was just really tired of seeing it was dark, right? And I'm not saying that people shouldn't have felt that way, right? But you know, how the world is. You have your ups and downs, right? So that's kind of what ignited me to start. And I've just been pushing through ever since, right? Shout out to Dalton for checking it out. Shout out to Options. There's a guy at my workplace called Options. Nice. Right? Well, I call him Options. He does options trading. Right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so...
nice.
You know, they help motivate me to keep going too. And, you know, first time tuners, shout out to Lena. It's my friend out west, right? It's one of my first internet friends, right? So we're in an era where you can meet people in person and online too. And the heaviness of things online can kind of distort your vision on certain things, right? Yeah. So, you know, we were talking about Fresh and Fit, and, you know, some people agree with them. Some people think they're toxic and everything, but... their mindset on people or even like women is based in Miami, right?
Yeah.
And how people are in Miami aren't necessarily how people are in the GTA, right? So I've talked to people who are like really into the podcast, and they're like, "Yeah, I totally agree." And it's just like, well, the girls are like that here, not all of them, right? No, so sure. It's definitely interesting. So for my 2020 experience. For the most part, it wasn't bad. It's been really weird because for me, I've been working the whole time.
Okay.
And I go
to... You weren't affected at all?
No.
Oh, yes.
Zero affection because, like, I'm in logistics, so we have to be at work.
Yeah.
Right? They try to do some work from home stuff maybe, like, once or twice a week. It didn't work. Right? So we have, like, 800 plus people going in, so... For me, it was kind of weird because certain people were talking to me and how they're affected. But for me, every day just felt like Sunday. I'm going to work, I'm coming home. I'm going to work, I'm coming home. I'm going to work, I'm coming home. And it's a Sunday feeling where it's like, oh, well, you know, everything's closed and your friends are busy, can't come over.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Sunday in the 90s. Right? And it's just like, I can't do anything. So, my perception was kind of a little bit warped. I'm like, oh, you know, this is annoying. And at the mass, we had the mass since like April last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. April, wow.
Yeah. Because we're serious. They were seriously hand sanitizer, social distancing.
But you guys are close to each other as well, right?
Yeah. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no, right? Because it's the type of work you do. It depends what departments that you're in.
Yeah.
Right? But when you have 800 people across 3 different shifts, right? Because we're 24/7. You have to try to make sure there's a distancing and everything too, right? Like even how we dealt with the whole thing, right? With people being sick, with people getting locked down, like our cases never went super high.
Oh, so you guys had cases as well?
Oh yeah, right? Wow. And you know, it was managed very well. I've never been so proud of my company, right? And that goes... That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. But yeah, how was your 2020 experience?
My 2020 experience, like I said, in IT is very busy, super busy. Finding ways for people to work from home. Literally, when it happened, essentially people were working on desktops, and desktops are wireless. Some people, they go home and they don't have an Ethernet cable, which is a cable that connects your computer to the internet. They don't have that. So we had to find creative ways to do that, like going on Amazon, going on other stores that turn your desktop into a mini laptop, a portable laptop almost. And so that was difficult. And then the other thing as well, my back. I hurt my back, which was not fun. I hurt it back in February. No, it was January 2020. And I thought nothing much of it. I'm like, you know what? I have a little bit of back pain, like most people. You know, I'm 29. I'm good. I'm good to go. And I worked throughout the whole year. And by August, I realized, no. It's been over 9 months, and it's getting worse. But the problem was, with everything going on, I was not able to go into the hospitals. They were like, hey, you know what? You didn't get hit by a bus or anything. You're good. Like, you know, we have people that are actually really bad. So I did not get my MRI until like 7 months later, man. It was nuts. And by the time I got it, they realized, oh, Anthony, you ever heard any discs on your L4 or L5, which is the lower part of your back, like your tailbone. And essentially my spine was shifted to the right.
Wow.
Yeah. So imagine you're supposed to be straight, but the bone is curved to the right.
How did that feel?
Honestly, man, it was extremely painful. Sciatic pain, that's what I was having. It was not fun. It was like being like zapped. Imagine you're trying to go to bed and someone's zapping you every minute. Zap, 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 zap.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. And by the time I saw the neurologist, it was this year, February 2021. And they're like, yeah, Anthony, if you do not get the surgery done, we have to do surgery to correct it, you'll be paralyzed for the rest of your life. So I was like, what?
I know, especially with everything that's been going on,
Yeah.
right? I could only imagine the stress that you had with all of that.
Yeah.
And then, you said you have your house, and then you got your second house.
Yeah.
And then the pressure of potentially not being able to walk.
Yeah.
Right? So how did you deal with all of that?
Once again, I go back to what I was saying before. It's purpose. When that happened, I was thinking, you know what? When you get this done, get the surgery done, and after that, I need to focus on grinding. Because my back is bad. How do I pretty much be financially stable? I know, how do I pretty much kind of retire early because my back is really retired. You know what I mean? It said, hey, it's done. So my back is really retired. I'm like, how do I physically retire? And kind of, find a way to get my passive or get my active income into passive income. How do I stop working, but at the same time, money's still coming in?
Okay.
And that's where I went into the, focusing more on stocks, having a plan on, how do I grow my real estate investing, project that I have? How do I, elevate myself even more? And, before doing that, obviously, when they did the surgery, going back to the surgery, essentially there was complications. So when the surgery was done, I was paralyzed, which is what I feared happened. I was paralyzed for about 2 to 3 weeks. But when I was sitting there, I'm like, no, we're going to get back. I'm going to get back. How do I get back? And I talked to a buddy of mine named Daniel.
Shout out to Daniel.
I don't know if you know Daniel. He helped me out in the hospital. He was calling me. He's like, bro, honestly, man, stay positive, stay focused. I started watching Tony Robinson, just different motivational stuff. Say, Anthony, they told you this, but whatever they told you, that's what they told you. What are you telling yourself?
Okay.
How are you going to, tell what they said and change it? Change reality almost. It's almost like Thanos. How do we, work stuff going on?
We're gonna cut that in half. That's not happening. Bam.
No, and that's what it was. Honestly, just grinding, working, exercising, losing a little bit of weight helped a lot. And I can say now I'm actually walking around. There's, I'm able to walk without assistance. No walker, no cane. Mm-hmm. I didn't go from 29 to 72. I went back down to 29. I'm actually walking around. I'm not running yet, but that is the goal. It will be to run by the end of this year, go back to playing soccer. And I know they're saying, no, it may not be able to happen. That's what you're saying. I'm saying, nah, I'm going to be walking again and running.
See, and that's the mindset that I like to hear, right? Because, there's a lot of stuff that makes life annoying, right?
Yeah.
And I like to tell people and just remind people, life has never been easy,
yeah,
right? There's been different points of time, if you read a book, right? My last episode was reading, right? Mm-hmm. So check out that episode. If you're bored, guys, or if you haven't caught up, check out the reading episode. Reading's important, history is important, culture is important, but looking into things and talking with older people, right? That's what I've been doing recently. Yeah. It'll help you avoid a lot of issues, right?
Because the thing is, they've already done it before. They've made those mistakes. So why would you want to make the same mistakes when you can tell somebody they have a manual about the road they're going to go down? Yeah. Why are you going to take the manual, man?
Exactly. And the thing is with the internet, you see the memes and people are making fun of boomers, and it's kind of like there's a truth behind it too, where clearly there's certain points of their life where it was easier. Like, if I could have just worked minimum wage for 3 years and be able to afford a house, I would think the average person now is lazy, right? But if you do your research on inflation, even the cost of school,
oh man,
right?
It's crazy.
It's disgusting, right? And we got to change that, or we have to find alternate ways, right? Like yourself, to kind of change our outcome in our life, right? Luckily, I can't even say it's luck, right? Because you've been planning everything out. You've planned it. You've executed it. Especially in this city, I think the average house is at least 600 to 800,000. Right?
Well, so what is the average detached house in Brampton? I believe is just under $1 million.
Okay.
70 detached is about 60 to 70, 100,000.
Yeah, so it's a lot of money, right? And whether it's 5%, whether it's 10%, it's still a good chunk of money throughout the year, right? I'm with TD, right? So I look at TD My Spend every once in a while. There was a month where I spent...
Does it give you a gauge of how much you're spending? Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'll show your average. Yeah. So whatever I spent last year would be my average for the year. Mm-hmm. Luckily, last April I spent $400 before rent.
Oh wow!
Right.
Wow.
So I was loving everything.
You're on saving mode here.
Right. I was I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm not gonna cook. I don't have to go on any dates. Can't even go on any dates anyways. People are scared to come over because, you know, they might be sick or I might be sick. I'm working all the time anyways. Oh, well, you know, I can't come over. It's like, okay, don't come over. That's fine. It saved me.
Well, the way you look at it is almost like Dragon Ball Z when Goku went to Namek.
Yes.
Like you're building up. You know, you're in there, you're sitting down there, you're building up, you're waiting, and when you get there, you explode. You know, you've been training for all that time.
Exactly.
So it reminds you of the same thing. I know it's Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if anybody watches it.
Yeah, you know. shout out to all the anime fans here, right? We're all there, right? You know, you're just in the ship. It's time to lock in, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're locking in. I'm glad that you're doing all of this. It's crazy. So, how's your work-life balance, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, you work a lot. You have your multiple streams of income. What do you do for fun?
For fun, I hang out with friends, backyard parties. I do a little bit of gaming. I'm not a crazy gamer like back in the day, but
Yes.
I used to play a lot of Halo back in the day, but Halo 2, Halo 3. Okay. But now it's more just, you know, more sports game. But yeah, it's more relaxing now, and especially after the surgery, it put it in perspective. Like, you know what, like you need to have time for yourself, you know. And like I said, I have a son now that's 2, so watching him grow up is kind of cool. So work-life balance right now is pretty good. It's pretty good.
If you could talk to your younger self, what's 3 things you would ask or you would let them know?
I don't know. For me, like high school, if I were to go back to high school, I was super quiet, super shy, never said anything. I was that fly on the wall, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, you were there? I was there. Like, I don't remember you being there. And I wish I was more, back then, I wish I was more active. More like, you know, more...
Kind of putting yourself out there?
Yeah, putting myself out there. Not, you know, take more risks. Back then, I was so conservative. I would not talk to anybody. You know, if I liked somebody, I would not say anything. I would just keep it to myself. Now, I'm more talkative. I'm able to talk to people. I can sit down and be like, hey, what's going on with you today? Oh, really? This and this and this and this. So I'm able to... I feel like all the experiences that I went through allow me to be the person I am today. So, I wish I was more active.
So that's one thing, and
yeah,
I'm going to cut you off a little bit.
Go ahead.
You know, I'm going to pull a Kanye. I'm going to let you finish.
I'll let you finish.
This is my podcast, so I'm going to interrupt for a bit. But yeah, you know, that's interesting perspective because like you're in IT. I know a bunch of people in IT. They just don't like talking to people. Yeah. So I'm glad to hear that. So what else would you go back? Because like I do have younger viewers.
Yeah.
Right. So. What else? What else?
Well, the other thing as well is I wish I was more of a planner. I wish I sat down and had more, you know, more goals, sustainable goals. I think back then I was dreaming, but I was not actually planning the dream. If that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I was too busy dreaming instead of planning. And I think now I'm a planner. I have, you know, a 5-year plan. This is what I want to do. When I was in high school, I was just living in the moment, man. I wasn't living for the future. So that's one thing I wish I did as well, was plan better. You know.
No, that's good. You're still a dreamer. You're just an active dreamer, right?
Yeah, I like that.
You know, it's not in the cloud, right? Because we're talking IT. It's not in the cloud. You're downloading. It's physical.
Yeah.
Right. So that's good. That's good. And last thing. What's the last thing you tell your younger self? It doesn't have to be necessarily high school. It can be post-high school as well. What's your younger self or even like someone out there who's listening?
I don't know. It's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are you know, are mini lessons. I don't know. Back then I was so worried about doing the wrong thing or, you know, not doing this, not doing that. I wish I made more. I wish I was pretty much more. Man. I'm tongue-tied right now.
I'll talk to you about mistakes. I think I talked about this in a podcast episode before, but I remember when I was job hunting, I was in like a really bad scenario, and I got a job interview at Factory Direct, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was so focused on getting a cashier job, right? So when I went there, and I was having the interview, and I was talking with a dude, and he was like, yeah, so we don't have any cashier areas, but, you know, in the electronics area, we have something available, right? I was so dead focused on the cashier job that I didn't realize this guy was basically telling me, hey, we can't fit you as a cashier. We have the electronics. Are you interested? And I was just like, are you sure you don't have a cashier thing? I really want to be a cashier. And then he was like, oh, because I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Right? And then he said, I'll call you back. Right? And I didn't get a call back.
Yeah.
And that was I was in this program, right? So I went back and I told them what happened, and they all just facepalm. One was trying not to laugh, and they're like, you know that they offered you a job and you said no, right? And I was like, what? Right? So, you know, mistakes are good because you learn from it. I was so embarrassed. I was looking for a job for a month and a half, and I basically said no.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the thing. Sometimes people are tunnel vision on just one thing, but they need to open up the lens. In that case, how it was. You need to open up the lens and be like, you know what? Let me take this other job that wasn't what I wanted. But hey, eventually I can slide into cashier afterwards. At least you get into the door. Yeah. You know, and some people, they don't want to go into the door. They want to be like, you know what? Inside the window, it doesn't look that good. No. Enter the door. Yeah. Then see what's going on. You don't like it? Pop back out.
Exactly. Because once you get in, you have room to grow. Correct. But if you want something specific, and that's for everybody else. Like, you know, everybody can do what they want to do. If you want this job specifically and nothing else, kudos to you. But realistically, that kind of narrows your opportunities. Yeah. And at the same time, like, before, when I was working at Metro, I was working at Metro and Zellers at the same time. So, like,
I worked at Zellers as well, man.
Yeah.
The one, yeah, the one down, it was in Brampton, Kennedy and Vaughan.
Okay. Yeah, right. I met someone online, and we ended up figuring out we lived in the same city because we both worked at Zellers. So I worked at the Shoppers World one.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
They worked at the Bramley one. It was pretty crazy. You know, internet's strange. Yeah. We're still friends to this day, so it's definitely interesting. But yeah, you know, after I made that huge fail not taking that job, I ended up with 2 jobs because that big mistake, it made me like open my ears when I had the interview. I'm hearing this, I'm seeing this. I'm listening to, okay, there's this opportunity. What's the best opportunity? How do I sell myself for this role, right? And even at Metro, I was the first male cashier in that Metro, right? They're like, oh, guys can't be cashiers. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm a cashier at Zellers. I do Midnight Madness.
I remember they had Midnight Madness or whatever.
Crazy. It's crazy, you know. I sell credit cards. What do you mean I can't be a cashier? Put me on cash. Right? So I moved myself from like buggies to cash to groceries. I was all over the place, right? But because I had that experience and I realized what no sounds like, what I don't know sounds like, and what I'm considering it convinced me knows like, it's all from taking risks and making mistakes. So
you have to.
That's good. I'm going to try to wrap it up because it is getting pretty long. We're going to end the segment with a Brampton question because we're Brampton boys. That's what I would say to the attempts at work. Brampton boys. Yeah. So what is your thought on Brampton, right? There's a lot of positive. There's a lot of negative. I'd like to hear from a person who actually lives in the city.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in Brampton since, 2006? It's been a while. Yeah, 14 years. 15 years. And I don't know, like, I went to elementary school, to high school with you, and even Brampton, I went to a certain college in Brampton. I don't know, I find it's okay. I like Brampton. Yeah, it's fine. We may not have all the cool restaurants like Mississauga and Toronto, but I mean, there's stuff to do in here. I know it had the bad rap where, you know, people from Brampton, you know, they're kind of, you know, ghetto or kind of hood or whatever, but it's not that way, man. It's like Toronto. Not everywhere in Toronto is bad. There's good places and bad places. So I like Brampton.
That kind of sounded a little bit too on the fence, so I'm going to say, give me 3 good things about Brampton, and then give me 3 bad things about Brampton, because, you know, I don't know if this might be like a 6 months clip eventually, right? So it's like, yo, this guy's from Brampton, and he's not even defending his city. Like, this is Brampton. Right? So give me 3 things, and give me three things good, 3 things bad, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, so for Brampton, I mean, the good things I like about Brampton, there's a lot of parks. Gage Park is pretty cool. Downtown Brampton, the square, the big huge TV, the Works. I don't know if you've been to the Works, but the burgers at the Works are amazing.
Yes.
So you can grab a burger, you can watch the big screen. There's games, there's hockey games, soccer games, things going on. So just that. Jacuzzi Park is massive. There's always stuff going on. There's a food truck event that's going on all the time during the summertime. There is a track and field. We want to do runs. What else about Brampton that I like? And I like the fact that, like, if you're in downtown Brampton, there's a lot of things around. You don't need a car. You can kind of just walk around. So it's almost like a mini Toronto, but, you know, outside of Toronto.
Okay. Yeah. So what's something that you don't like about Brampton?
From Brampton, what I don't like? Oh, traffic, man. People driving. I understand why we have the highest rates when it comes towards, car insurance. But, yeah, the driving's bad, man. The driving's bad. Steals? Forget about it, man. I try to find ways to dodge. It's like Neo. I'm like dodging cars to get out.
It's okay. You're just out here.
No. It's like, no. I'll go on this side road.
Yeah, you just kind of explore because some of the drivers and some of the places are terrible, right? Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned before there was good food like the Works, but besides downtown Brampton, everywhere else, I find that there's all generic foods. It's not like Mississauga and Toronto, where like, they have really good food. Like, oh shoot, this is really good. I'm gonna drive 30 minutes to go down there and check it out. Brampton, there's no real restaurant like that I know of. That's like that. So that's one negative. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what other negative. So traffic. If you're a foodie person. What else? I don't know. I guess the prices, the rent, the houses, man. The rent and the prices, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Trust me, man. Like, I don't know how some people are doing it, man. Like with, I was saying before, you have to pair up with somebody. Mm-hmm. Either a girlfriend, boyfriend, or either with a friend.
Someone you can trust.
Someone you can trust. Yeah, don't go with somebody you don't, man, because you can get burned.
Oh, yeah.
But I find that the rent is nuts in Brampton. Nuts.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, that's good because, like, it took you a while to find 3 negatives, so it's clearly not as bad as...
I'm more... You know what? For me, to be honest, I'm more on the positive. I like Brampton. Like, I don't think it's bad. I don't know if people it has a bad rap, but I'm on the positive side of the fence.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Like, for me, I really like the parks and the paths, right? There's, like, a lot of biking paths and different, like, winding roads, so... it's a city, but there's a lot of nature especially for a place that's in the GTA.
Yeah.
Right? And it's pretty modern. Another thing that I do like about it too is there's like a lot of grocery stores and like department stores and stuff like that. So it's never really too busy. Like even if a place is busy, you could always find somewhere else, right? So like for example, last year where everyone was buying toilet paper because they're dumb. Right? You were still able to find toilet paper if you were a last minute shopper. Yeah. For me personally, I try to buy toilet paper for a year. Yeah. Right? Just because I like my expensive Angel tissue paper on my bottom, right?
You go to Costco where it's like bulk size or
not necessarily. I'll go to a random grocery store. Like I use like Flip, right? So you can see the coupons, right? So I'll get like Downey's extra 2-ply, 3-ply, eco-friendly, made by angels to cushion your butt, right? Because I don't want any sandpaper stuff on my booty, right? You don't want to be there and then you're in the washroom and it's just like, you know what?
You won't be able to sit down for days, man.
Yeah,
no, man. You want to.
You don't want to be sore, right? You sit here, it's an issue, right? But yeah. That's pretty much it. Is there anything that you want to shout out? Any last minute things you want to mention before we wrap it up?
Well, the one thing for me, like I said, ever since the surgery, my thing is advocating for investing. Guys, invest. Saving is okay, but investing is the best because you get more money when you invest. Mm-hmm. You learn more about different companies, and investing is key for retirement, man. Mm-hmm. I know it seems like retirement is so far away, like. Oh, I'm 20 years old, or I'm 25 years old. That's like 35 years from now. But I'm telling you now, man, you prepare now, man, because when you wait then, it's too late.
Yeah.
And the one thing I always say is that when you go to retirement homes and you look into some people's eyes, you see regret. And that's one thing I don't like regretting because I've seen it before. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have regret. I want to look back and be like, shit, I should have done this. You know what? Oh, fuck. You know what? I wish I did this. Having regret is the worst thing. And that's why I tell people sometimes, if you go to retirement homes, you see some people are happy, but a lot of people, they have regrets in their eyes. Mm. And a lot of it starts from not making good choices when you're younger, a.k.a. investing. Were you going to say something?
Or not even, like, making a decision at all, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about high school, right? And it's like, all right, I wish I did this. And that wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah, no.
Right? So
like 10 years ago,
you could only imagine someone who's old, right? Yeah. They've lived twice our lives and just like you could only imagine the things that they did or they didn't do. Yeah. And especially like when you're in a retirement home and you're away from your family, I try to tell my parents, I'm like, hey, please be normal people or put you in a retirement home, right? Because, you know, in my culture, you know, we keep the family, you try to keep the family, right? Or if you're going to put them somewhere, it has to be somewhere that's comfortable. I feel like putting someone in a retirement home, this is me personally, it's just like, it's hard on them as well. Like, certain people have to go because, like, you know, they might have dementia or they're very hard to deal with and stuff like that. But I don't want to punish my parents like that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you sit down and you actually plan out and you have a good retirement, then your kids won't have to put you in retirement homes. You can decide your own fate.
So this is for you people who have kids right now, or, you know, you're getting older and you've been neglecting your children. You don't want to end up in a retirement home. So
don't be that person.
Don't be that person. All right. So do you have any socials you want to drop before we wrap this up?
So yeah, I have an Instagram that what it does is motivational for financial. It's motivational for not motivational, but it's advocates investing and real estate investing, and it's Phoenix with an F-E-N-I-X, TC as in Tom Cherry _18. So once again, Phoenix TC _18. And like I said, if you go there, it has content on, you know, how to do investing, how to open up your first investing account, like Wealthsimple Trade or, you know, Quest Trade. It has all the stuff that you need when it comes to investing. And you can always DM me. I can sit down, help you out with budgeting, help you out with different things with investing. My goal is to elevate people, you know, financially.
So that's good. I'll definitely drop that in the description. You know, message me.
Yeah.
I'm already following it anyways, but message me so I don't forget. I'll put it on the calendar.
For sure.
Yeah, we have similar goals. I think we're just both attacking them in different ways, right? That's why I do the podcast as well. I kind of want to lift people up. Yeah. I want to change the narrative, especially with everything that's online and the negativity, right? Like, soon I have to do my social media online, like just being offline for a while. I do that every year just to kind of like bring myself into reality, because like the internet's real, but you know, it's not real at the same time. So that's a thing where sometimes for me especially, I need a break. Right? I need a break. So
but it keeps you grounded as well when you do stuff like that. Yeah, kind of giving a little detox. That's actually good to do. What time of the year do you usually do that?
I usually do it in between seasons, right? Oh, okay. So I do it in March, or I do it September. I might do it September this year, or just certain months where I don't like being online, or there's like a lot of negative stuff online. It's just like, you know what? Yes, I could miss memes for a month. I could catch up on the memes. Memes move so quickly that it's just like whatever. Like the Fast and Furious memes, it's so forced. Right? family, right? But people still watch the movies, right? Yeah. And it was good. That is definitely a viral campaign, right? Yeah. The company did that. That was not organic, but
I think now they're going to space soon. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. The last Fast and Furious movie I watched was Tokyo Drift, okay?
I actually like that. I thought people don't like it. I actually like Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, some people say it's trash, but the music was fire. Yeah. I like the storyline, so that was my last Fast and Furious. I don't think I'm going to watch it again, but who knows? If you guys want to pay me, definitely I love Fast and Furious. Anyways, so that's it for today, guys. Hope you like this episode. We will be having more guests as things start to get back to normal. Thank you again for tuning in. If you're listening to this on Spotify, we're finally on Spotify, so share with your friends. If it's on YouTube or on SoundCloud or anything that I put out in the future, you know, make sure to leave a comment, you know, ask some questions. I'm still on IG. I'm still out here. We'll still be doing the polls if there's certain topics that you guys want to talk about, or DM me for a topic. I always have something to say about something, right? So I'll check you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Have a nice day. Enjoy your summer.